with a good tip. Go and collect some leaves and sticks and arrange them into your favorite color.
Blue.
Red. Green. Green is not a creative color.
Yo, different, right? Today's just a go get 'em. I don't need the computer for any reason, so I might as well do it over here. This video is going to be about me. And what better way to tell you about me than to go back to the place where I like to venture every so often, Reddit. I hadn't been on there in a long time. Usually people would send me links to Reddit saying, hey, look, there's a Reddit thread about you. But what brought me there yesterday, if you followed me on Instagram, you'll see that I had that thing up of me eating liver.
Ew. Dude, fucking nasty. Oh, come on!
If only because I hadn't done it yet, at least not like that where you just kind of rip it off a freaking hunk. And if you're curious, it wasn't that bad. If you see me like kind of gagging at the end, it's because I was worried about chewing it. I just wanted to swallow it all down. When I was younger, I had this experience with an orange.
It's just a pouring out orange.
Where I didn't really chew it all the way and it got stuck in my throat and I was gonna die. So for about 2 seconds right there, I thought I was gonna die trying to swallow a whole piece of liver. Turns out chewing it isn't that bad. It didn't taste that bad. My stomach's completely okay. I feel great.
Is that what you think? You think?
And I gotta finish up about 1.5 pounds of it that I picked up from the local butcher. I wanted to, after having spent a day with the Liver King, get a feel for what people actually thought about him. And what better place to do so than to go to Reddit, like I just said. So you Google Liver King Reddit, and you look for things that have popped up within the past month or so, and lo and behold, something pops up. It's my video in relation to him. And I'm at the point where kind of the more aggressive and shitty it looks, the more excited I get about it. So the title of this was Hillerfit defending the utter clown Liver King. Not a single brain cell, just astonished at this point. Followed by this big thing that I had written about the Liver King and how I felt about it. It really correlates with the video that I made, which is about a 30-40 minute video. It's got 142 responses. I responded to every single time that my name was mentioned on every Reddit thread from the past 5 months from that point on forward. I want to let you know where I come from with this stuff though. My favorite slogan, one of them at least, is I don't know shit about fuck.
I don't know shit about fuck.
Because I like to admit that if I don't know something, I don't want to talk about it. It really helps me keep myself in check. If I always know that I never say anything if I don't know what I'm talking about, I never have to backtrack at any point in the future. It's how I've always been, but it really has helped with this entire internet thing. So when people start to fight me with certain things, I can always kick them right in the ass and say, I would have never said that. I know I didn't say that, because one of my guiding lights is if you don't know about it, you don't fucking talk about it. And on the other end of the spectrum there is if I don't know shit about fuck, I also know everything about everything. But I can always be reinformed. You ever hear the saying, as if you're the smartest person in the room, go find another room, or never listen to the person who's an expert in anything, because the second you think that you're the smartest person, you cut yourself off from learning anything new. And I always want to be open to learning new things. So I either don't know shit about fuck,
I don't know shit about fuck,
or I'm willing to talk about it with people.
Come together right now.
While still being open to maybe learning a little bit more. Present this information into Reddit, and I put that sort of a framework into the things I see people saying. These people either truly don't know shit about fuck, or they actually think that they know everything about everything.
I am the smartest man alive!
And if I can tell when people have actually done their own research. I put out almost 365 consecutive videos, at least days of videos, probably much more content than that. And at that point, if you've watched maybe 5% of it, you'll get a pretty good feeling for who I am. He's a clickbait title, he's a fucking whatever they want to say. That means that you made a slap decision based upon something that you saw, and there's something in you saying something about me. That said, let's get into some comments, and I'm gonna keep on going back to that. Hiller with a terrible take, shocking, stop giving stupid people attention. I say couldn't agree more, and thanks for the comment, because I want attention. Yeah,
Right? I can make all the videos in the world that I want, I can say everything that I want, but if I have 10 subscribers on the channel, what good am I doing here? What I did is I went and I looked up the word clout. Influencer power, especially in politics or business. Influencer power, Andrew in the CrossFit community. It's like, yeah, that's kind of exactly what I'm going for. I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly what I'm going for.
You making this comment on Reddit is doing exactly the entire goal, because the more people that hear me say stuff, the more stuff can be heard. And I made that tweet the other day about CrossFit paying attention, listening to the stuff that I have to say. It's been the goal the entire time. So again, this person hasn't been listening. Liver King is a liar, Sevan is a douche, Hiller is an idiot.
Idiot.
Yay for opinions is what I had to say about that, because you can have them. My opinion is that you probably don't watch my videos, and if you think I'm an idiot after you've watched a couple of them, I got the college degree, which I guess really doesn't mean fucking anything, but the things that I talk about, as I just said, I'll only continue to talk about if I think I know what I'm talking about. And if you've seen any of the stuff where politics and world happenings come up, I just don't want much to do with it, because either I don't want to waste my time, because it's a never-ending, I'm always going to lose battle with people who already have their minds made up, or I just don't know about it. And in which case, either way, I don't want to waste my time on it. Clowns supporting clowns. Put a clown on there. Yeah, I'm a clown. Have fun. Watch me. Watch the clown. Yeah, here we go. More attention. I don't know either of these people. It will stay that way. Yo, what's up? Hi. Once Andrew got involved with Sevan, I knew the clock was ticking, and then I asked what time it was. That can go two ways, right? Like, you assume it's gonna be bad, but I also don't wanna make assumptions because I don't know the tone of this message. Could it be a good clock or a bad clock? The explosion at the end of the detonator, is it gonna lead to greatness or tragedy? Hitler sucks, Sevan sucks, Liver King sucks, Liver Queen sucks, Carnivore MD sucks, a little bit less, everyone sucks. The Metcon Don, this is someone that I see a lot in these threads on Reddit. He never has a positive opinion. He always just wants to shit on me. I wonder how many of my videos he's watched. Again, you're open to your opinion. Oh, I even say, what's up, friend? See you everywhere. This guy, TZO Peel. Joe Rogan is a hypocrite for his reaction to the Liver King, so is Hiller, in very two contrasting ways. Now, if Hiller didn't have all his tirades spouting natty or nots famously against Tia, I wouldn't have an issue with him siding with Sevan on this. It's clear he has no backbone when it comes down to it. He cares more about lining his pockets than the actual people who for some reason look up to him. Now, I've made a shitload of videos, and when I say that, I remember that it's very hard for people to keep up. But I know that I put something out there in relation to Tia. If she were to get popped and she were to come out and say anything close to what the Liver King said, where she is owning up to it, then I would be there for her. I'd be on Team Tia. The only reason I'm not, or made that video on Tia in the first place, was one, because I believe it's the truth, believe being the key word again, which is an opinion, and two, because if I am right, there's a world where she's just getting away with it. Phil Toon pops. Phil Toon says that it's a freaking hair product. I do not let Phil Toon off the hook. I have the doctor on explaining why that wouldn't be possible. I make the video about why he's still a liar, and now I just made a video about the Blue City team and how I believe them in their case. Because you have to be objective. You have to look at the evidence. I just responded to this comment saying, lining my pockets with all that ad revenue. Look into that for me. I hear it's quite lucrative. And then I put that sarcasm because, like I said earlier, you never know what people are trying to say. Maybe he thinks I'm trying to be a cocky son of a bitch. I'm not. I was being sarcastic. It's really lucrative. Considering I put in upwards of 8 to 10 hours a day making this stupid fucking internet content, you can chalk it up to about $5 an hour on average every single day is what I'm making. I could make more at fucking McDonald's, but you know what? I like this stuff. And at the end of the day, what I always chalk it back up to is that this person doesn't have an icon. It's a little Power Ranger, TZ Opal. 54 days ago, my name on there is Andrew Hillerfit. You know right where it's coming from. I'm the dude saying this on this video for everyone to see. You're the dude saying shit behind a screen on the front page of the internet. And yeah, the ad revenue is fucking awesome. I'm recording on a fucking microphone with a camera from having put all of this work in. But in my opinion, that's what happens when you do stuff, is you're rewarded with stuff to make it even better eventually. Adam Odebrava. Hillerfit is a clown. Go back to checking people's reps and stop acting like a Chavon wrist dude. Klutzy Wolverine says Hiller's a legend. And I said, thanks, Wolverine. M. Trey. I think that it's a pretty human and empathetic response from Hiller. That word right there, empathy. I believe if you go to the beginning of the video, re-listen to the entire thing in relation to empathy, I have some moments in my life that really stick with me. And I've mentioned it before, I don't know where. I had to write a paper in high school about empathy versus sympathy versus apathy, you know, one of those classes. It was probably a psychology class. And I remember I thought I had a pretty good finger on what all that meant. And ever since I didn't, I tried to make sure that I did from that point on forward. It's just looking at things the way you would assume those people are seeing them. Put yourself in that person's shoes. Feel what that person is feeling. What has driven these comments from these people on this Reddit thread to say this stuff about me? I always ask what's going on in their lives that made them look at me this way. I always say they probably haven't heard my videos. They probably haven't watched them. Maybe there's something about me that drives them insane. That's okay. Just like, why would I make that video about the Liver King? I felt a certain way about it. A different way than a lot of people felt. People looked at it at the surface level. It's like you look at the ocean, it's frozen over. It's like, well, that's not how how it's supposed to work. Salt doesn't freeze. Let's imagine it's a lake. It's a frozen lake. I could walk on this. What the fuck is under that water, dude? What's down there? I try to look for what's down there. And everyone else was like, hey, I'm skating. Woohoo, the dude took steroids and fucked us all over. Meanwhile, there's 20 billion fish down there just swimming around living their lives. It's like, all right, what are you guys talking about down here? What's going on with the fish? Repelican 28. This dude's always everywhere. Empathy for what and who. Liver King is a chuckle fuck grifter. His supporters are even more cringe than he is, and Hiller is an obnoxious dumbass. Everyone sucks in this. And I responded with, that's the nicest thing that I've ever heard, or that anyone has ever said to me. This dude just hates me. And when people don't like you, you're fucked. I went back up to the top of the thread and had to respond to a comment that said, Ancestral Supplements sponsored the Sevan podcast coverage at Wadapalooza. Sevan hosts a weekly show with Hiller, as well as having him on various shows covering the sport of CrossFit. That's the link. Hiller doesn't want to cross Sevan, who doesn't want to hammer someone who has been good to him. If it wasn't for that link, Hiller would have been calling for the same accountability from Brian Johnson that he does from everybody else. I responded with, you must have some deep insight into that Hiller guy, because I'll tell you what, the amount of times that I have tried to have been unfucked by people in this space is, you have no fucking idea. Like, I can't believe that you said that about that person. How could you have done that? Why didn't you reach out to me? Like, well, because I do whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want to do it. This one probably pisses me off the most. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't think that I want to cross Sevan? These people are out of their fucking minds. You know what happens? I hear about it, I watch the video, I go to my computer, I start fucking recording. At that point in time, I was competing at Wadapalooza. You know, when the Ancestral Supplements was sponsoring the podcast, I had no contact with anyone. I hadn't had a single fucking conversation with Sevan about the Liver King. I made an entire video, he sees it and he goes, how late were you up doing that? This just came out. Like, I was up till 5 in the morning making this video. He goes, wow, I agree. That's how the fuck it went down, you stupid son of a bitch. Idiot. Paul Rand fan, this. He is bending over backwards with empathy and rationalization, but he would have shit all over and incited a dox on anyone else. I don't know what that freaking saying means, but I said the last CrossFitter who admitted use. Oh wait, how did I respond? To my knowledge, that was Nicholas Joel.
I don't get that from him. What I get is a guy who's going through a bit of a hard time, dealing with his fitness, made a bad decision, is going to be paying for it for the next 4 years. He doesn't need praise for doing the right thing, but we should be appreciative that he did the right thing, because it's something that we would like much more than the other end of the spectrum, which is just the blatant lies.
Yeah, I took it. And you know what happened? Same exact fucking reaction that I had with the liver. The same thing about how I said I would have reacted had Tia Toomey if it would have came out that she had been using stuff. Like, you made this huge deal, Andrew, take her fucking head off. You would assume that I would do that, but I wouldn't. But it also has to do with how she goes about talking about it once it's done. Is it okay that she did it? No. Is she going to own up for the mistakes if it were to happen? Not saying that it's going to happen, not saying that it's going to fucking be the truth, but in a world where it does, I know how I would react. Everyone deserves a second chance. This is how I know you don't listen to me. Hiller is a troll, right? No real value here. Yeah, right, I said. How badly does Andy want to be Tyler Durden? You're not your fucking khakis.
You're not your fucking khakis.
Why do any sports bother with drug testing? They can just send photos of the athletes to Hiller and he will tell you 60% of the time it works all the time. That one was my favorite comment. That's funny. That's really good. He's doing it for clicks. I don't know how long he's been doing the YouTube thing, but it seems like he has become known in the sub over the last few months, probably trying to keep his growth going. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my growth going. Amongst other things. What are those other things? Make everybody own up to things the way the Liver King did it. The same way Nicholas Joel did it. The same way I wish Phil Toon would have done it at some point. That is, unless he is actually telling the truth, to which I don't think so. This video I just made in Blue City CrossFit. They're sticking with the truth. They have a whole bunch of evidence on the truth. This is all in relation to drugs and performance enhancers, you know, that sort of shit. Repelican 28. My thoughts are he's only doing it for attention. His worst nightmare is going to be that people stop paying attention to him. Stop getting out of my head. Get on my head, Repelican 28. Same dude, different thread. This thread is in relation to myself jumping on testosterone replacement therapy with the peptides. Semarelin, I'm doing that. Maybe I should make this into its entirely own video. Lions Mania, another freaking one of my favorite commenters on this thread. Dude was likely on PEDs before. Nice way to cover story. It's like, yeah, I agree. I was on PEDs before. There it is. Ah, you got me. Said so right there too. I agree.
Reaching up to grab a set of squatting in the upper 5 pound snatch that I wasn't doing enough to compete in the sport that is, can you fit in this amount of time against your, to which I went down the rabbit. I got a dumbbell over my head. My lifts had come down a little bit. I was doing nowhere near as much conditioning. I kind of walk around every single day at 202. Note that those are 8 to 15 pounds heavier than I've mentioned at any
150 days ago, this comment's from. I wonder if he knew me from before. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't have any more screenshots from this thread. The gist of that had to do with my testosterone replacement therapy, because after I looked at the Liver King stuff, which I told you how I had gotten there, I'm like, well, what else had I missed? And yeah, I missed the entire thread, which was my journey doing the California hormones thing. If you followed along with that, I haven't been posting quite as frequently because I had some stuff going on. You saw I was out in Texas. I kind of fell back on putting out my content. Don't worry, I'm back into the fold, just doing YouTube videos. But the more I have to do with stuff that has nothing to do with fitness, the less fitness that I get to do, because there's something to do and then there's something to follow. That something to do is make the videos, drive this thing forward. I'm trying to do the best that I can to interweave the two of those things. I've been making those YouTube shorts, which is just me making fun of myself as I'm working out, because if I can combine the two things, it'll likely make me exercise more. But the entire thread has this common theme of people thinking that they know who I am, what I do, and why I do it. The only people who know who I am, what I am, and why I'm doing things are those who have known me for quite some time. And I think that you can get the best sense of that by going into a couple of my affiliate videos. I think I've made 2 of them at this point, but I'm an open book. At least I try to be, as much as I can. I think the more open that I am about things, the more relatable I can become. The people on Reddit will always be there, and I'm sure I'm gonna come back, see Republican 28, the Metcon Don, and whoever the fuck else is always in there trying to attack, but I like it because you know what? They're still talking about Andrew Hiller. Thanks for watching me sitting over on this bench in a different side of the room. That's all I got to say about that. Andrew Hiller, out.